and professional environments. It is my privilege to welcome our resource person, Ms. Varsha Ballal, a certified yoga therapist associated with the SGH Warsaw School of Economics, Poland. Welcome to you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Varsha Ballal is a multifaceted professional who beautifully blends corporate expertise with holistic well-being practices. Currently working as a tax analyst with JP Morgan in Poland, she brings strong domain knowledge in learning and development and withholding tax, supported by her academic foundation with a master's degree in international business from the prestigious Warsaw School of Economics. Beyond her corporate role, Ms. Varsha is deeply passionate about mindfulness and wellness. She has made a meaningful impact by conducting yoga sessions for children at private kindergartens in Poland, fostering cognitive development at an early age. Her commitment to promoting balance and well-being extends to the corporate world as well. Having successfully led workplace yoga sessions at Google in Warsaw, with her unique ability to harmonize analytical precision and mindful living, Ms. Varsha Ballal stands as an inspiring ambassador of stress management, wellness, and holistic growth in today's fast-paced professional environment. Ms. Ballal has extensive expertise in mindfulness practices, therapeutic yoga and relaxation techniques. Her work emphasizes holistic well-being and practical methods to reduce stress and improve focus and emotional balance. Let us all warmly welcome Ms. Varsha Ballal to this session. Over to you, madam. Kindly take over.
All right. Good morning, rather good day to everyone present here. So glad to see you virtually. Like ma'am introduced, she forgot to tell you that I'm very much an alumni of SDM. So I did my BBM there, I did my MBA there, and then I've moved here after marriage to Poland, of course, studied and got a degree. To begin with, I'm glad that you all decided to have me for this session. I was very much looking forward to it because right here in Poland, the credits India is being given for introducing yoga is amazing. So I really feel proud to be associated with at least one part of yoga, that is Hatha Yoga. And when people hear, especially the Polish people, come and tell me the benefits the yoga has provided them, their children, I really feel, grateful that I've been born in India and I'm an Indian. So to begin with, Hatha Yoga for stress relief. So I think you all have heard a lot about yoga. I think taking into consideration the social media these days, I think there's a lot of information out there on Instagram about how yoga helps you for your stress relief, or your general well-being. It doesn't mean that Hatha Yoga should be practiced only by people with stress, chronic stress, and certain health issues. It is for your everyday well-being. So today's session of Hatha Yoga, or majorly, like mild Hatha Yoga techniques that I'm going to tell you all, brief you all with, is going to going to have a focus for corporate life and your academic life. So keeping focus on that, I have put together today's session. So going ahead, yes, next slide, please. All right, so this is going to be the workshop overview. So I've done a 60-minute session, which will include, apart from this, there's going to be a small practical session as well. So I'm going to include some of the asanas and breathing techniques that you all can do while you're sitting at your desks, okay? Because considering that most of us are doing corporate jobs, most of us are doing, studying and things like that, we don't realize that we are sitting or standing the whole day. So I'm going to brief you all about all of this, the asanas, the breathing techniques, the basics of Hatha Yoga in this session. So right now, I don't know how this is going to work out, but in case you have any doubts, any questions, or anything that you all want to ask, please feel free. All right. So yes, the next slide, please. or stress in academic Indian life. Okay. So here I have stressed on Indian academic life because one common misconception India is much better than the Indian scenario. The corporate life in Indian scenario is much better. Is okay. So considering corporate life or academic life, for instance, I studied here. All right. So I was doing a 2-year degree here, and in India, what I've observed is the professors or the students, especially the professors, okay, they stand, they write on the board, they get to make hand gestures, they move and they teach. So they get to sit for some time, they get to stand for some time. But here, I don't know if it is after COVID or even before that, but everything is digital. All right. So as much as the advantages, the cons are people are sitting the whole day. All right. So they're sitting in front of the screen, even while the professors, they're teaching us, but they're teaching from the screen. They're not standing up or they're not moving. They're just sitting on the chair and they're looking at the screen and teaching us. Okay. So this also impacts your posture. When you're sitting the whole day, you don't realize you're so much focused on work or what you're doing. You don't realize how your posture is or how your back is. All right. So right now, I just informed Deepa ma'am that I'm going to sit in my yoga mat. Is it okay for the session? So she's like, absolutely okay. So for me, to be frank, I cannot sit like that while I'm doing a session. I cannot sit like that whole day on the chair because it is actually taken a toll on my back. 11 in the night or 12 in the night. And I should not think this is a burden or I should not feel it is imbalance. I felt it was normal because my goal was to complete as much as the work that is possible. Right. And then the other regular, stressors that are there: examination pressure, competitive environment, work life imbalance, like I mentioned, long screen hours, and sedentary lifestyle. People don't move because it is not that they don't want to move, it is that they don't get time to move. Okay. Performance expectations, of course, that also could be a stressor. A lot of pressure, a lot of competition. So your performance, there's a standard set for you to perform, and if you're not able to meet that, then that could be a stressor. Okay. Yes, next slide, please. All right. So like I mentioned, yoga is India's timeless wellness science. Okay. So yoga originated in India over 5,000 years ago. So yoga is a cultural heritage. So we know yoga has been practiced from the time of the great Indian epics like the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, or even before that. We know of rishis, munis, and everybody who were practicing tapas, who were practicing meditation, right? So yoga goes back way in time. So like I've mentioned here, yoga is a cultural heritage and also a modern day stress solution or a stress reliever. So people practice yoga even in the modern times. As of now, it's gained so much importance, like you can see. And yoga was introduced by the Ministry of Ayush, of course, gave too much importance to yoga and promoted it. Well, the International Day of Yoga is celebrated on the 21st of June. And here, every 21st of June, we have in Poland, we go to the Indian embassy and everybody performs yoga together. So that's one way where we unite all Indians here. So it's really nice to go and see so many people embracing yoga. And it's even nicer to see that I live in Poland, like ma'am mentioned. So all the Polish people here, even after work, every day, they go and practice yoga. They practice, I think, Pilates. There is something called as Pilates, and I feel that is also somewhere an origination of yoga. It is very much similar to yoga. Okay. So yes, so yoga basically is India's timeless wellness science. It is introduced by India. It is an Indian gift to the world, right? So yes, next session, next slide. All right. So to begin with, let me tell you what Hatha yoga is. Okay. So you all would have come across many types of yoga these days, right? There is Patanjali yoga, there is power yoga, there is brain yoga. I don't know what and all. Okay. But me personally, I don't believe anything, or I don't go with any, or I don't resonate majorly anything other than Hatha yoga, because Hatha yoga is the most oldest traditional form of yoga. It's gentle, simple, and it includes everything: your body, your focus, your breathing techniques, your mind, all of it. Okay. So the word hatha, Hatha. So ha stands like it's a combination of two things, okay, which will be told later: the sun and the moon. So I will explain that to you later. And hatha, they say it's basically a Kannada or like a Tulu word, which means, they say, like, hata, chala, or stubborn. So that also could be one of the meaning that can be taken or associated with the word hatha. So it works on sharira. That is, sharira means body. Prana is energy or breath, and manas is the mind. Okay. And yoga, see, we have this misconception that yoga cannot be done after a certain age, or be practiced after a certain age. They say that people above the age of 60 cannot practice yoga, or children below the age of 10 cannot practice yoga. It is wrong. Okay. Anybody regarding any age, regardless of any age, can practice hatha yoga or any form of yoga. Okay. It gives results to people from any age groups, anybody, in fact. All right. Yes. The next slide, please. All right. So, like I said, what is hatha yoga? I'm sure you'll all have practiced yoga at least once, by will or forcefully. You'll have seen yoga sessions online, and you'll have heard. I'm sure there's nothing new with hatha yoga for you to tell me. But hatha yoga combines three things, okay? Asana, pranayama, and dhyana. So asana meaning stable and comfortable posture. So when I say yoga, or when I mention to people that, okay, I am also a yoga therapist, or I am a yoga trainer, I conduct yoga sessions and all of that, most of the people, they ask me, oh, so you can practice a headstand, so can you do a headstand, or can you something like that. They ask me if I can do difficult postures. So let me tell you some things, okay? Even the basic postures give you the same result as of difficult postures. Okay. For you to keep in mind when practicing yoga is that when you practice a posture, you are comfortable, your body is comfortable, it is not hurting you anywhere, you're not overdoing it, you're not stretching any part of your body way too much that it is getting sore, or it is hurting. Okay. So that is one thing. Pranayama, regulated breathing. All right. So you breathe, you inhale and you exhale, right? So when you inhale, imagine yourself as a balloon. Okay. So when you inhale, your stomach comes out. When you exhale, your stomach becomes flat. You put air out like a balloon. Okay. So that is the most regulated form of breathing. So when you're anxious or when you're stressed, your breathing pattern changes. Sometimes you breathe way too fast. Okay, there's a particular pace for breathing. All right. So there are, like I said, there are two parts for you. There is Ida and the Pingala. Okay. So I won't tell you too much in Sanskrit. So there's the right nostril and the left nostril. Okay. So right is called as the Ida and left is called as the Pingala. Okay. So your right represents the sun, your left represents the moon energy. So which is right is heating, moon is cooling. Similarly, right is active, left is calming. So here, yoga says that it embraces two opposite energies, like the feminine, like you say, the feminine and the masculine. Ultimately, it's all one, right? So here, I'm trying to tell you the word yoga is derived from the word yujir yoge, ultimately, which means to become one with the universe. Okay, through meditation, through asana, through pranayama, the main or the final goal of yoga is to become one with the universe, which is derived from the word yujir yoge. So like I said, I'll explain again because this is the most important, the starting, like it's a base for you to understand that your right and the left nostril, okay? The right is the Ida, the left is the Pingala, okay? And there is a channel through the nose where you breathe in, which is called as the Sushumna. So you don't need to remember those words. I'm just giving you an instance, that's it. So when you breathe, you inhale and you exhale, okay? So here, there is one time when your breathing is actually completely normal, okay? You're not breathing fast, you're not breathing slow, or, like for instance, there is something called as Sandhya Kala. Have you heard of the word Sandhya Kala? I'm sure you all would have heard about the word Sandhya Kala. So Sandhya Kala that's why, have you heard people asking you to practice yoga in the morning? Like they say early morning is the best, right? So why do they say this is because it is during that time that your breathing is regulated, without putting any effort. You don't have to try breathing regularly because when you get up at a particular time, you're well rested, provided you're well rested, of course, and you get up early in the morning, like during Brahma Muhurta, that is 1.5 hours before sunrise. That is the time that your breathing is normal. Okay. You don't have to put in any effort to practice. Breathing is regulated. So that time is called as Sandhya Kala. And that is the best time for you to practice yoga because your breathing is automatically regulated. Okay. So, like I said, the final goal of yoga, Hatha Yoga, practicing Hatha Yoga is Sthira Sukham Asana, is balance and ease. Okay. So imagine just a simple example. Okay. It's the first day you're practicing yoga with me, and I somehow convince you to practice a headstand. Will you be happy at the end of the asana session? Will you be okay? No, right? You've come, this is your first day. You just want to know how it feels. So initially, the first day itself, if I ask you to give like a headstand or practice like a handstand, so I don't think, yeah, exactly. Like ma'am say, okay, maybe some people are, really focusing on that, considering social media. I've had people or college students who come to me, and when I ask them, what do you want out of yoga? Why are you practicing yoga? They're like, ma'am, I want to do a headstand. So if that is the goal, then you need to go somewhere else. You need to practice gymming, or you need to strengthen your body, and you need to put your picture of doing a headstand on Instagram, then it's another story. Okay. So yes, the next slide, please. All right. So the meaning of Hatha, like I said, Ha is sun, which is activity. Tha is Chandra, which is a moon, which depicts calmness. So, like I said, it balances effort and relaxation. So, Hatha itself is a combination of both activity and calmness. So, calmness meaning you're calm, you're breathing, your mind is focused, you're still. Whereas activity means you're moving. There is posture, there is breathing and all that happening. Whereas Chandra, moon is calmness. You're practicing dhyana, you're breathing, you're focusing on your breathing, you're still at a point, okay, when you're practicing meditation. So this is a balanced effort of calmness and, activity both, like I said. So it tries to combine both opposite energies and bring a balance. Okay, so this is the meaning of Hatha. Yes, next slide, please. All right. So this is very, very, very important for you to remember. Okay, practice guidelines for you when you are doing yoga. So, like I said, there are n number of people who come to me and tell me that, I'm not flexible. I want to practice yoga to be flexible or become flexible. See, there is nowhere. I did a degree like back in 2020 in the University of Mangalore for yoga. And not even one book, not even one practice, not even one theory, or not even one professor mentioned the word flexibility. Okay. Flexibility is a byproduct of yoga. It is very much like it's out of experience that you become flexible. Okay, it's as good as driving or cooking. You know, after a long time of cooking and driving, you become an expert. You know, it's you know what is where and you know how to do it. It's you do it at ease. Okay, it is similar with the body. Okay, you become flexible with consistent practice. Okay, it's a byproduct. It doesn't come in the first session. Or if you only want it for flexibility, then I don't think that's the right attitude towards yoga. You can't practice only yoga because you want to become flexible. You know, you can run or you can go to the gym consistently, and even otherwise you become flexible. You can just stretch at home and become flexible. Okay, so certain things to remember when you are, you know, assigning yourself for a yoga session or yoga practice. Practice within your comfort. Like I said, don't, you know, in the first few weeks, just stick to basics. Even if your body is flexible, even if you have been gymming continuously, even if you have an athletic body, practice within your comfort. Okay, the yoga professors or the yoga practitioners or the whoever's teaching you yoga will make sure they stick to basics in the first few weeks, because they want you to be comfortable in the first few days. They want your body to adapt to whatever is going on, and then, you know, it gets adjusted, and then you can slowly start getting out of your comfort zone. Okay, avoid strain or comparison. So imagine you're practicing yoga, hatha yoga, and you have two other people with you. Okay, so while doing a particular asana, they may bend better than you. Okay, they may stretch better than you. Now that could be a body type. Okay, or that could be due to something else. Maybe